Thus, Mathematics economics one is a mechanics, the John Maynard Keynes and 1883 to 1490 is the seminal work, The General Theory of Employment, the Interest and the Money. 1936, the critical with the analysis that causes which the mighty have the causes is the crisis the 10 years service of the new set of the policy that approach also to have the economic recovery in the very simple term. The Keynes suggests this the economists to the improve the certain tired from the other economic system not market economy to the current crisis faced by them. After including the genesis, the advice is the economy recover out of the depression and in this the forces the practicable the makes the economic system evolve the non-market economy. The rooted immediately in the ideas of the Karl Marx 1818-83 and had to the variant the socialist and the communist who in the socialist model as USSR in 1972-89 instead has the having the ownership control on only the natural resources in the communist model China 1949 to 85. The state used to one ownership control over the labor also what also known by this the names as the state economy, the common, common economy, the centrally the planet economy, the basically this system the evolved in the reaction to the market economy and has the past of the following the main beliefs the resources of the country should be used of the well-being of all. The resources are best used once they are under the ownership of the society, the community, the socialism, the communism. Thus, all the economic rules will be regulated by the state only. No property right given to the individual guided by the belief that it promoted the exploitation of the laborers, that is the proletariat, and have a small minority, that is the bourgeoisie, to get a rise over times, the resulting into the increase in the economic inequality. The absence of the market, that is the interplay of the demand and the supply was totally absent. No idea of the competition, that is the total is the monopoly in the economic sphere. The people who play the economy who economy role. The employee minister enterprise economy ability of the return to that for the facilities from the state as per their needs. The decisions as far to the produce, how much to the produce and how to supply them to the people taken by the state itself. This system has got tracked by the Bolsheviks in the ex-USSR in the 1919, from where is the spread across the whole there in Eastern Europe, the so all the socialists, the BLOC, the countries of the time. The finally gettings it is the far West from in the Communist China in 1949. The emergence of the socialist and the communist models of the non-market economy, the cons of this system, even after being fully committed to the well-being of the masses and the absence of the poverty. Theoretically the speaking, this system at it is the on the limitation whose can be the summarized the briefly in the following way. Through the aim was to the serve all, there was no idea of the creating capital or wealth was the create scarcity of the investable the capital in the coming times. Instead used to the prioritize the use of the resources, thus the best of the optimum use of the resources that driven by the market forces were then denied, leading to the um, misallocation and the wastage. In the absence of the poverty, the right there was no the motivation to work hard, and that the animal spirit of the people as no money was the paid to them, then leading to pursue the absence of the innovation that is the research and the development, the process of the internal decay being the being not the democrating the political system, the things that like the liberty and the freedom were the totally absent. The image and the avoiding the uh, pol- exploitation of the laborer at the hand of the capitalist that perceive the emerge as the sole agent of the explanation. The critics critical of this the state the capitalism. The forces of the internal decay was being faced by the economy since the early 1970s. The causes by the in the bold shortcoming they had it was where the back in the mind 1950s that the Polish the philosopher Oscar the Langley had the advice this the economists to the embrace market socialism whose was uh, outrightly the rejected by both the Soviet bloc and China. At last, by the mid 1980s, instead the economists moved to the modified the economic system by the including the certain traits of the market economy. Example USSR by the late 1980s, the announced the twin policies of the perestroika, the restricting and the against not the opinions of sourcing of hard to means the economy with the uh, fundamental trade of the market economy. The similar stance were adopted by the existing East European the socialist economies and the CIS, the Confederation of the Independent States. The China by the mid-1980s the announced it is the open door policy, the embracing mix the economy with the fundamental type of the market economy. Rather than China had the startup division for this sense by mid-1970s itself, but they were not explicit in nature. In the way, the two measure and the contrasting economic system of the time had complete the full circle and move the closer um, going related from each other. The evolution of the mix the economies where we find a mixture of the type of both of the economic system. This event has been also the term as the end of the ideology as the ideological divide between these the economic system to the brightest now the eventual the integral long drawn Cold War the which the originated from this the ideological difference that makes the economy in the package mix economic system was already there by late 1930s. Once the market, the economists adopt certain policies and start growing from the non-market economy to the recover out of the depression. But the first country to the announce the adopting this system has France in 1944 to 45 with the announcement to adopt the national planning. The system was further that.